Okay, so now I am here with about to join the upcoming therapy session. Um, Looks like it's 45 minutes, so we'll get into it. A little bit nervous. I feel pretty good actually, but be interesting to see what she says. I guess we'll get into things. Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna have to switch to audio in a sec.
Hey Jared, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, yeah,
Did
good.
you do your medication appointment today?
Yeah, I did it earlier. We agreed that it wouldn't like I wouldn't need any or something. Yeah, that seemed to be best. So that's okay. Yeah, but yeah, that was.
You're gonna do both of
I know. Yeah, I was doing the prescription kind of just to like see. Wasn't sure. I figured I'd just kind of check my boxes, make sure I covered my bases. So yeah, I don't know if you got the notes from that session, but I can kind of catch you up or
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, catch me up.
yeah. I think I'm pretty well adjusted overall, but on the thing I wasn't quite sure to select. I'm kind of trying this out. I have seen a therapist before, but it's been with kind of working with attachment stuff. It's been a little vague. And
Okay.
so I was reaching out to Brightside just to. I've obviously heard of cognitive behavioral therapy. I've worked in mental health, and yeah, so I was sort of like, okay, let me try a little more science and just try online therapy too. And so yeah, so kind of I smoke too much weed. I
Okay.
tend to overthink things. It's not the worst thing. It's a weird dichotomy where I I don't really have a strong why like quit or whatever. But I think in general
I
I just
totally
yeah. But I think in general I overthink things. I tend to be a workaholic. So yeah, like just um yeah, I guess that's me in a nutshell. There's more to it, I'm sure,
okay.
but yeah, yeah,
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so you have done some therapy before.
yeah,
Okay, and wait, and are you a counselor?
yes, yes.
Okay, so you're like very familiar.
I do work with a lot of clients with eating disorders, and so yeah, I do know my way around the mental health field. Yeah, so I do, yeah,
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do like my confidentiality spiel just so that I've done it, even though I know you know. So, therapy works because this is a private area. I won't share anything that we talk about in here outside of session. And the only times I would ever break confidentiality is if we talked about ongoing child abuse, elder abuse, or dependent adult abuse, or if I was worried you were a danger to yourself or someone else and we couldn't make a plan to keep everyone safe. Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
no, that'd be fine. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. And then let me tell you a little bit about me so you don't feel like you're kind of telling your whole life story to a stranger.
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so like I said, my name is Emma. I'm originally from Fresno, California. Where are you?
I'm in the Bay Area right now in Pacifica, but yeah, I grew up in Sacramento.
Oh, okay, okay. So kind of you're like at the very northern end of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
valley
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, so I lived in Fresno my whole life until I was like 34, and then 2 years ago I'm married, I have kids, and we were like, let's not live in the city in Fresno anymore. And so now I'm very northern California. I'm like right under the border of Oregon. I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's 700 people in my town.
Hmm.
Like there's nothing out here.
Oh, nice.
So like totally the opposite of the Bay and Fresno and all of that. So we have chickens and we have like a little goat farm and it's cute and fun and just like there's space and nature and it's nice.
I like that. Yeah.
And then professionally, I've been a therapist for about 6 years. I first got started doing kind of agency work where I worked with families who were impacted by CPS. And I've done some private practice, so I worked mostly with adults. And then I've even worked in like a long term care center with elderly folks. So I've kind of like done the whole age range. So that's been cool. And I don't know. When I was a kid, I always said like, oh, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a therapist,
Hmm.
and I am, and I love it,
Hmm.
and I love working online like this because usually I like write everything down at the beginning, and then after I'm done, like, who's next? I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I love that person, and I just feel like it's like all day like that, you know.
Nice.
So I feel really lucky, yeah.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's me.
Hmm.
So, do you
Hmm.
have any questions about me or anything?
No, that's it's good to hear it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, so I think it's a nice touch to like when you're getting to know someone, just for them uh share that information. Glad to hear that you like therapy. Yeah, I mean
I do,
that's a
and I've
good sign,
definitely been
right? I
like
mean,
on the
yeah,
other
yeah,
side.
yeah. I see. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
So I know like it's really difficult, and there's all this feelings of like, oh, what if I go see a therapist and they like don't get me,
Mm.
and like that would really suck. And I just think like I want you to know who I am because the impact that it's gonna have, like it's like 60 to 70% of if therapy is gonna work is the relationship between you and the therapist. So I really want you to know who I am,
Mm.
and if at the end you're like I don't think it's a good fit,
Mm. Mm.
that's totally fine. I want you to find the right fit. So
Mm.
you know, so, yeah. Okay, well, so what's
Yeah,
bringing you in
yeah,
today? Like now that we know each other a little bit.
yeah. I guess it's not the worst. I think therapy's great. So I've been sort of almost dissatisfied with my other therapist. Not dissatisfied, just been it's done great work. I think I kind of get it, sort of, or I don't know. So yeah, just been kind of like I haven't really been seeing a therapist. So like kind of trying to get back into it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, again, kind of like yeah, I don't know what a CBT or whatever approach is. I assume it's more or less. Um, but yeah, was just trying to like okay, this is really common, obviously. I think I'm but whatever. So yeah, I seem to be a workaholic. I seem to not stop working. I do like work. Like I'll work on the website. So there's work at the counseling job,
Okay.
which is good. But then on the side, I will like blog and um, just try to do like SEO stuff and so it's kind of productive work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, but I don't seem to stop, and then so I kind of I'll kind of crash a bit where I'm pretty like isolated or just like I'm like more of an introvert, so I'll just kind of go away and withdraw from people. Never really like impacts my work life. I think I've got plenty of friends. Um, so, but this is distressing enough. Just yeah, and I smoke too much. Although I mentioned, yeah, I said I don't really care to stop. But anyways, it seems like I'm familiar with myself where I see this pattern, and I'm like, huh, this seems to keep happening. Like
Okay.
it doesn't seem to, I'm not really even too ashamed of it. I think I've done some work around that.
Good.
Um, but it also doesn't seem to be stopping. It's not the worst thing either. But I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
let
Like
me
it's
get back into
mental work.
therapy too. Let me get
It's
back to
good to
therapy.
be
So that's
productive.
yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. How are you feeling right now?
A little out of it. I got work in a couple hours. I'll have a cup of coffee. I'll go on a walk. But a little I don't know, a little down, I guess. But a little embarrassed. I don't know, like a little. I don't know. I tend to overthink things, so I think I'm in my head a little bit, but I guess
Yeah,
that's
you're
okay.
definitely the most well-adjusted person I've talked to today.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
I do this all day. Like, you're not
Thank
gonna
you,
say
thank you.
anything that's gonna shock me or
All right,
anything.
yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Feeling all right. I'm not under super stress or anything, so that's good. Yeah.
Okay. So with the working, is it mostly like you find that you will keep pushing yourself until you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've completely lost interest in my job. I've lost job satisfaction. Um, or is it just that you feel like it would be better to have a better work-life balance? Like, how is that a problem for you?
Yeah, like will keep pushing. It seems like I have enough motivation to keep pushing, but then but there's not like a joy. I don't know. It's sort of like um yeah, I guess yeah, like maybe I'm feeling like I'm missing out on some important part of life, like playing or something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, something like that, having fun, that type of thing.
Yep.
But
Yeah. Fun is
it doesn't lead to
important.
burnout. I know, yeah, it doesn't lead to burnout like in the more classic, like, I don't know, whatever definition. You know, can't go to work, like can't, like literally it's not that. I'm fine with work. Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it, you know. I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not yeah, I kind of like it. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a little mixed. I don't quite know. But anyways, yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Okay. It seems like you kind of have a lot of ambivalence about your
Yeah,
life right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. I think, like, I don't know if I want to quit weed. Work seems to, like, as much as I maybe am missing out on things like going to loud parties isn't the funnest either. I don't know, something like that.
Right. You're like, maybe the things I'm missing out on because I just don't really like them very much. And work is a pleasant excuse to not go.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Can be a little lonely, I guess, for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's yeah.
Well, and isn't that like so the introvert's dilemma is like,
Yeah,
am I going
right.
to be lonely or am I going to be around a bunch of people?
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, it's yeah, that's funny that other introverts, yeah, probably are pretty in the same boat. Yeah, or yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
but how does it show up for you? Like how? Like tell me about that loneliness.
Um, let's see. I'm not with anyone right now, so that can weigh on my mind. Like kind of comparing myself to maybe my friends who are dating or something. Um, trying to I get, yeah, I can just sort of when I look back at the weekend, it might have just been like I do self care,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I mean I do have I actually am more connected than I do have friends, but anyways, yeah. So I guess there's a little embarrassed part of me or whatever. It's like, okay, she might think I don't have any friends or something. I got friends, but and I do things over the weekend. But when I look back over the weekend, it was like I went out on Friday for St. Patrick's or whatever, and that was
Uh-huh.
okay, like whatever. Um, but yeah, like kind of the rest of the weekend was like kind of a mixture of work and self care. Even the self care is good, like surfing or something, but it's still like a lonesome thing. So I look back over the weekend, I'm like, okay, I was productive. I like took care of myself, and you know, but I'm not satisfied. I'm like, it was empty. It was empty, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It's a little different than lonely. Maybe they're the same, but it felt just a little empty, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Okay, I feel like maybe you're kind of at a life stage,
Hmm.
kind of like at a life transition where here you are, you're in your early 30s,
Yeah.
and work is coming along and career is coming along, but some of those things that you used to do for connection are feeling like you've kind of outgrown them a little bit. They're not filling your cup like they used to. And so now you're kind of like, well, what's next? Like, do I need a partner? Is that what's missing? Kind of trying to figure out like maybe I should just cram more work in there. Maybe that's the
I know,
answer.
right?
But then
I
that's
mean,
not feeling quite right either.
yeah, I think it might be the answer. No, no, I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. Obviously, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's the I don't know. I care about connecting more with people. Yeah, no, life trans. I like that idea of a life. Yeah, career's going good. That's true. I got my like passion project. Um, yeah, it's kind of like lonely or empty, but then not that introvert boat, like not wanting to go out. Yeah, and all the self care stuff too. It's good. I think it has been part of my health journey. I've definitely got a lot healthier over the years, which has been cool. Like a big part of my journey has been getting to better mental health, and so like these self care things, um, maybe got me here in a sense. Meet the
Yeah.
bottom of Maslow's hierarchy needs or whatever. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like, kind of got me here. Now I'm like, okay, like my basic needs are taken care of, so now I
Yeah.
can worry about lonely or whatever. Um,
Yeah. Yes.
but yeah, it definitely seems like I want to be with people, but then I don't like people too. So it's kind of like stuck there, sort of. Um, Something like that. It's kind of hard to sort through. Like,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
It is. Okay, let's go
It's okay.
back.
It's okay
So
though. No, it's okay though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. Wherever you want to take it, I'm down. Okay, cool.
okay. Okay, you said like that you're definitely in a much healthier place. Like you've kind of been on a journey with your mental health. So like where were you at before?
Um, much more depressed, much more like anxious, much more eating habits were off. Really couldn't connect well to others at all. I've come a long ways, and especially through therapy. Yeah, therapy has helped me a bunch. Although it kind of reached like a point where I'm like, okay, like I don't know how much this therapist can help me. But anyways, yeah. So I've come quite a ways with that. Yeah. So that's been uh yeah, that's been nice.
Okay, good. And
Yeah.
when did you notice that like that there was kind of some depression and anxiety going on? Was that been kind of like since childhood? Were you like kind of an
Yeah,
anxious
yeah, yeah.
kid or
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird because I'll be calm, like I can do public speaking, like whatever. So I don't feel like maybe so of course everyone feels some anxiety.
yeah.
But like it's not I don't know, it's not like I'm not on any meds for social anxiety, but I do think it gets channeled mentally. I think something about my upbringing that I've learned is that like I don't know, my parents are just super good at like not feeling things. Like it's almost like they're
Okay.
very like cognitive. They're very like cognitive. Yeah, like yeah. So feelings are tough, but I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you were gonna tell me if you felt like you were depressed or anxious when you were a
Oh
kid. And it
yeah,
seems like
yeah,
not anxious, but
yeah. Not anxious, but thinking. Like thinking, which I could see being a form of anxiety. It's just not like butterflies in my stomach or maybe a little bit, but not really. It's more of a cognitive mental experience. That's no doubt. I'm sure it's been there for forever.
okay. With like
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of the constant worries.
yeah. To do list. Like, yeah, the to-do list is like a big part of my life, which I don't know. It causes problems, but like I don't know. Seems useful. I don't know. Yeah,
How does your to-do list cause problems?
just never ending that type of thing.
Okay,
Cross it
got
off. The
it.
next one, like kind of. It seems like I keep always finding things to put at the bottom of the to-do list. Uh, yeah, and sometimes I'll get like very focused on like little details that like don't really matter. Spend way too much time and very frustrating. I get so annoyed sometimes at the computer, like and uh, yeah, little things can just kind of maybe hyper focus on them or I don't know, things like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
where it's like, and so you never have this sense of accomplishment with your to-do list, which I think is kind of part of the to-do list, as it's supposed to be, and then you're done, and you're like, oh, look at what
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
today.
that's true. Yeah, it's that is a good point, I guess. Yeah, that yeah, to-do list. Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, I was thinking of a to-do list. Like, yeah, that's not how a to-do list works. Like, that's like you just do it and that's it. So interesting that kind of yeah, if you finish it, then take a break or something. Um,
Right? You're like, I never thought about that, about the break part, really, or feeling like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I hear you though too. Or yeah, like I do take breaks. I'm pretty, that's I do take breaks, but
That's part of your self care is kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
making sure that you do that, that you kind of keep an eye on it.
yeah, 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 um,
Okay, good.
yeah. But yeah, I think this is no doubt. It's like just maybe genetic, maybe just like probably pretty deeply ingrained. I don't know how much progress can be made. um, yeah, but whatever. It's good to talk about. Kind of, yeah. I wonder what. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, is it
I
frozen?
feel
There
like
we
you're
go.
trying to talk yourself out of therapy.
I know, right? Or something. Yeah, no, I have mixed feelings. I think the ambivalent thing is probably most describes it. Like I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, the like I can get in these thought patterns that are like kind of looping.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Um,
Well, I'm not going to like sell you on it or
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Like when
yeah.
we
No,
get
I
to the
mean,
end, you'll just kind of decide, is this going to be
no,
helpful or not?
we'll feel it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll feel it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you, like, do you feel like you had a pretty good childhood growing up? Like, how much did it impact you a lot that your parents aren't very, like, in touch with their own emotions? And so I assume we're not particularly attuned to your needs as
Yeah,
a small child.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things where but when I first got in therapy, I first said to him, I had the best childhood. My parents were perfect. They never did
Yes.
anything wrong. They were there for me financially and put food on the table. Later on, I came to realize, like, yeah, there are significant things. Like my dad's uncle is just like a hermit, like no friends. He's just on the beach. Mom's, I see this more. Like mom's side is very like my cousin, like just so bad at social connection, so annoying, like never reaches out. Um, yeah, now I see my parents as I don't know, like yeah, you know what, here's a good one. I don't know if you saw that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once or whatever. You see that one?
You know what? Somehow I didn't, like, something happened when I was watching it, and we had to turn it off with like 40 minutes left, and I never got to see the end of it. But I've seen like some.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get the first like part of the movie, the first like 2/3 of the movie. I only got it at the end. I thought
Okay.
this movie was like really overrated, but at the end, like basically, like the mom like finally says to her daughter, like, "Hey, I'm there for you. Like, I love you. Like, like no matter what, like I unconditionally love you. Like,
Unconditional.
you're special. Like,
Yeah.
you're my world. Like that type of thing." And I was thinking after, I was like, man, that's what like Western society needs. Like, I don't know. I don't think I got that from my parents. Like, I
Okay.
think like maybe like, oh, good job, like getting A's or whatever. Like, but even not even that, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I don't think like got that growing up. So I think that's why I'm like dissatisfied with things. Um, yeah, something like that.
Okay, so definitely like more emphasis on achievement than just
Yeah,
being.
yeah. No, almost. Yeah, they're always thinking ahead, always planning, always like talking about their future plans, like planning. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, it's it's a little sickening. Yeah, coming back. It's like whenever I visit or something, it's like this is yeah, not pleasant to be around. So yeah.
Okay, so but you guys
Yeah,
do
no,
still
I
have
mean,
a
I do,
relationship.
I do, yeah. Kind of a perfunctory call,
Okay.
um, every now and then, and yeah. I mean, there's some good moments there too, of course. Yeah, they're fine. whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It
yeah,
was the
no,
best they could do and
this
all
is the
that.
best thing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to like. I like the being. I've heard of that. I think that's more of what I need. I
Okay.
can do the being, sort of,
Mhm.
meditating, whatever,
Mhm.
self care. Like to me, that sort of is the being. Like
Yeah.
I've doing more of that, but it's also like, uh, it's not like people, or there's some like people and being doesn't like I can be by myself in nature and that's all
Yeah.
good. That's cool. Like I'm not doing trying
Yeah.
not to do. It's almost like I'm
Yeah.
productively trying to not do anything. Like okay, I did,
I did
but
it.
I did it. Yeah, but the whole being thing I think is right. But then it's not. People are not fun. I guess in a way. Yeah, in a way. I guess something like that.
But it's still this desire for connection.
Yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, a little block there, but yeah, yeah.
Okay, and so I'm
I think
wondering
I
how it
think
is if
people.
you can
Yeah.
be,
Mhm.
but
Sometimes,
I'm wondering
sometimes,
how it is
sometimes.
for
Yeah.
you.
Sorry,
Huh?
sorry. Go on. Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering how it is for you to like is it a struggle for you to connect with your emotions and to kind of identify what you're feeling in the moment?
Maybe I think I can think what I'm feeling, sort of.
Mhm.
Maybe feel it a bit. I think I can recognize what I'm feeling,
Mhm.
but maybe like more of an intuitive thing. Um,
Okay.
like if I'm feeling down, I know I'm feeling down, but I don't know exactly how that feels. I guess it feels, yeah, it's hard for me to say how it feels. Maybe, I don't know, just down a little bit. I don't know how to describe it, but I kind of know it more than I feel it, I guess. So, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And do you ever feel like when it's past, sometimes you look back and you be
Mm,
like, "Oh, that was a lot worse than I thought it was." Like I didn't have a
mm.
very good sense of where I was at in the moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like with people or like, sorry, like passing like I could, like a depression or something, like, oh wow, that was bad,
Yeah.
but maybe it wasn't that bad. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Not quite sure. Like oh, with like people. Yeah,
Or no, with
like
like you, with
oh
your feelings,
oh
with your own feelings.
huh. Like if I'm lonely, it's like not that bad, or if I'm like sad,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. But then later feeling like, you know what, looking back, I think maybe it was more than I thought it was at the time.
Mm, mm. I think I can get that way with like with feeling lonely. I think like sometimes I'll
Okay.
look back and I'll be like, felt like I was missing out on something, and
Mm-hmm.
so I like didn't realize it at the time, but I had this like stronger than normal like urgent project, like better finish this, like yeah, just like better finish this. Um, yeah, and even like some of the frustrating moments, like a tech error or something, I'll get like inordinately pissed at it, like, and I think
Okay.
it's like okay, like I'm really like maybe yeah, no, some self judgment. Here I am like alone, sort of, and uh, here I am alone. Like I shouldn't be alone,
Yeah.
something like that. Like so,
Yeah.
I think afterwards, I'll be like, okay, like I'm kind of upset at myself. So maybe that was like why I got really upset about that, or like why I was so like frantic about uh, a project or something that like probably wasn't that important.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Okay, so sometimes it's easier to than like noticing your feelings to kind of push them onto something else or like either make them productive or kind of divert them into something that feels more, I don't know, more safe
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, like a logical like I play chess, you know, like so I think chess kind of I don't know, it's the same thing. Like let me control this. It's control,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's something like that. Like
Yeah.
but yeah, something that I can like be productive on. Yeah, I think that's definitely
Yeah.
my go-to. Um, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Because I
yeah,
am wondering
yeah,
if maybe like because on the quizzes like you scored
yeah.
very
It wasn't.
very low.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not like I. Yeah, I think I think. Yeah, I'm decently well adjusted, so that's good. I mean, yeah, it's not too bad.
But I feel like I always trust the
Mm.
person who's coming in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
something brought you in.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It's not. Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's just. Yeah. This kind of a loop. You know. I guess that I keep going on. You know. It's like a couple years. You know. Just seeing this pattern. Like. Okay. Like. Here we go again. Like. Yeah. Um. I do seem to know it decently. I seem to know it. But yeah, this ambivalence. I don't know. I don't really care to stop either. But I guess I do care to stop. You know, here I am, like showing up and paying money
mhm.
and you know, I guess yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think I don't know, somehow doing the more being with people or something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Think
like
like
there's
doing
something
that
to
or
that loneliness.
yeah, yeah, must I think I can be upset at myself for not being a social kind of being reclusive and all that. Um yeah, yeah, I don't know if there's any like, am I like, I don't know, do I have a belief in myself or something, or I don't know, you know, or I don't know.
Yeah.
If only there was a magic pill that could just like, you know, remove all the internal barriers or something, or probably not like that, but I don't know. I don't know what like. I guess I'm open to advice. Not that advice works, but I wonder just what comes up for you yeah, hearing this or I don't know. Yeah.
I I don't even I'm not
Hmm.
entirely sure what
Hmm.
you feel like is the main problem. Like, okay, I
Hmm.
guess
Yeah, yeah,
basically what I'm
yeah, yeah.
getting from you though is
Sure.
I feel like you're having more anxiety
Hmm.
than you notice yourself having.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I'd
Okay.
agree with that because I think that probably explains some of the weed too. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, right?
Well, and when you get high, does it like drop you into your body and do you feel like you experience things more, or do you feel like you're like, whew, I'm gonna check right out?
More of the checking out, more of the fog,
Okay.
not feeling, numbing, sort of. Yeah, definitely. Slowing down the
Okay.
mind, you know, like
Yes.
kind of my turn off buttons. Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like a lot of your life is really like either geared to like keep you so busy
Mhm.
that you're not feeling much, or
Mhm.
to slow you down so much that everything kind of shuts down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I guess for me, I wonder like what would come up if you were, you know, just kind of still for a
Hmm.
while and were able to
Hmm.
let it come.
Hmm.
And not that you will necessarily like know that if you just think on it, but
I mean, I yeah, I think yeah, no, there is some like going through the feelings or whatever because I know that I get bored sort of and like um I feel things more yeah. Just in general, I'll be like, "Oh, wow, that's an emotion like more yeah, life can be a little more yeah, unpleasant too. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think it is. But basically, the I think that is the answer. I think one thing that I struggle with is like kind of like why try? Because I'll probably go back to weed anyways, right? Like,
Oh yeah, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not saying like
Yeah, I
get
know you're
that
not saying to quit,
only
but
or
I
anything.
do think that is the answer. Like, but I probably won't like realistically follow through on that. Um,
Mhm.
I think smoking less.
Okay, but
I'm maybe open to smoking less, which I think is yeah probably something I want to try. Yeah, but no. I mean, I like. Thank you for your feedback. Yeah, I think probably am feeling using weed to block out things that I'm not as consciously aware of, and to be more conscious of it. I wonder, what do you think about like the lack of motivation? Like, I do agree that more consciousness is sort of the answer, but also like, why bother? Or just yeah, just realistically, like, it is a nice sounding answer, but like, I don't know, just I'm kind of stuck there with that. Yeah.
you know, I actually had a very similar conversation with my husband last night
Hmm.
about am I going to eat this gummy or not? Because maybe I shouldn't, but also why would I not?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would I? And I definitely
What?
did eat that gummy. So
Yeah.
like, okay, so but like I go throughout my day and I like check in with my feelings, and so I feel like we have different goals that we would be working on. For you, I feel like if it's like a glass of wine in the
Hmm.
evening,
Hmm.
fine, everyone gets to have a vice.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that too.
But if you're using it very consistently, during all of your free time to check out so that you
Hmm.
don't have to experience these emotions that you never really learned how to experience because your parents didn't show any emotions,
Hmm. Hmm.
then like I feel like that's not so good.
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
you to be able to feel your feelings and not be overwhelmed and feel like you have to get rid of them with
Hmm.
work or weed.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I'd like that too. I think that's probably the long term best thing. Yeah. I, yeah. So like more. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. More breaks after the to do list. Something like
Yeah,
that. Something like kind of
something like that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Is there anything
Yeah.
I haven't asked you about that you feel like is important for me to know about you?
Um. No, I mean, I think you see. I think you probably. Yeah, I'm kind of like in a loop here. So that's. I mean, that's
Right.
okay. That's okay. I mean, um. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So I
let's
think
just
you see that. I
talk
think you
about
see
what
that,
treatment
and
would
that's
be
okay.
like.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. I'm definitely kind of curious about that.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
And then so we'll like kind of stop the loop because then you'll be able to see like, okay, so now we're gonna branch it. Okay, we're not gonna loop, we're gonna branch.
Okay. I'm down. I'm down.
Okay. So definitely one option is at the end of this you can be like, you know what, I'm like actually pretty comfortable. Like things are maybe not the best they could be, but when are they? And I'm comfortable with the way that things are,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I'm gonna do surfing more, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
attend a meetup with to make closer friends.
Yeah.
Like there are
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely other things
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. But if you were gonna
Hmm.
do therapy, let's talk about what that would look like. So I usually meet with people once a week, and then probably that's how often you went when you went to therapy before,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Brightside also has this thing it's called the Unified Protocol, and they basically got a bunch of different evidence-based practices and put them together into like a curriculum,
Hmm.
basically. So there's 10 video lessons, and so like each week you would watch a video lesson, and there's like a questionnaire that you answer, like how does this apply to your own life?
Hmm.
Sometimes there's homework that you do.
Hmm.
When you finish it, it bounces back to me and I can see it so that if there's anything that you are missing, I could like fill in the gaps for you. Or if there,
Hmm.
or most of the time, just like, hey, great job.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
And then when we
Hmm.
get back together, we usually talk about it. At first, we only spend about a few minutes talking about the lessons because
Hmm.
they really build on each other.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, like, by the time you get to like lesson 5 and 6, like, there's
Hmm.
more to talk about.
Interesting.
But typically we'll talk about it for as long as you have things to talk about, and then people are
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
anyway, let me tell you about this thing that happened this week, and then we kind of go back to traditional talk therapy.
Let me. Yeah. No. Thank you. Because this is I could tell you. Yeah. This is good conversation, and I think maybe because I am interested in the science of it all.
Yes.
So maybe like doing the course, and I think I can just schedule a session another time or something.
Oh, but
And
and
also thank
also,
you too.
I want to
I'm
say
not.
that
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
there might be like, I don't know what it's called, but maybe like a self-care kit or something. I've seen other people sign up for that,
Hmm.
and I'm not entirely sure if it's like maybe you just pay less and you can do all the
Hmm.
lessons independently,
Hmm.
which
I'll
I
see.
think is
I'll see.
certainly an option.
Yeah, we got options. Let me. I'm gonna sit on it and um. Yeah, I gotta think of. Yeah, I gotta think. It might be. It might be. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's where I'm at. I don't quite know. Um. Yeah. Yeah. But I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear where we're at. So yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Cool. Well. Yeah. I'll probably try to do more of the meetup thing, but I think I'll at least like um I definitely want to look at the thing about that and like give it like try those or at least see with the course. I mean, hopefully it's a good course and it has
Right.
some like if I can like nerd out on some science stuff like the that'd be cool. Um
Yes.
and then like try to apply a technique. I do like that. Like I hope to get more like techniques to like practice kind of like my productive side of me, like give me this like
Yes.
reframing technique or whatever.
Yes.
So maybe that course and then just kind of take it from there. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. So, and if you think of anything, you have any questions, you can always message me in the app, and I'll see it the next time I get on. I'll message you back. And also, if you feel like maybe you would just be more comfortable with like a male therapist or something, like don't feel bad if you want to explore other options. I will not get my feelings hurt. Like this is your therapy, and I really do just want to present like all your choices so that you can have a really individualized approach.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Emma.
Okay, Jared, it was nice to meet you.
You too. Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay. So that was that. Definitely was over exaggerating in that. Like, I do find these therapy sessions to be difficult because, I mean, I continue to see a therapist already. I'm not above therapy. I appreciate it, but um, on the other hand, I do recognize I'm incredibly privileged and really blessed to live this life, and I'm a secret shopper, so there's some level of inauthenticity. I'm sort of faking it to see the quality of therapy sessions, and that feels really weird to me. Um, and it's hard for me to say. I thought she was a quality therapist. It's hard for me to connect as much when I'm being a little inauthentic with that. This was an issue that is greatly exaggerated in this video. I think the first therapy session was with on Talkspace was more genuine. This was sort of me, sort of just trying to be honest, but also trying to exaggerate it and a little in my head. So, oh well. It wasn't. I felt like I felt like she could sense like there wasn't really a great reason for therapy. Um, like she was. I might be reading into it, but sort of like, hey, like there's a course, like you can work with other therapists. Like, do you want it? There's meetups. I felt like she was on to me. I felt like she was a good therapist. Who brought a lot of energy. I liked her introduction at the beginning. Um, and I liked her. I could find myself liking her. Um, very friendly and asked great questions. But I felt like she was on to me, which is really funny. But that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to dig deep into these services and try them out and see if they're quality. And I would say that uh, Brightside is quality for sure. Um, so all the props to them. I appreciate both their psychiatrists for not giving me a prescription and this one for even sort of sensing that I didn't have a problem and to sort of move me on. Um, yeah. So with that being said, that is the psychiatry and therapy of Brightside. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll be on with the next video soon.